Hi everyone, Derek Hooper here. I want to talk to you a little bit today about a ball flight error that we see, not the most common ball flight error, but still one that we see too much of, and that is a hook. So a hook for a right-handed player is a ball that curves to the left. The reason the ball curves to the left is that at impact the club face is left in relation to where the club path is, and that differential between the two produces the curve going off to the left that we call a hook. So I want to first of all talk a little bit about, well, how does a player get the club face closed in relation to the path, and a couple of things that you would check, and then we're going to work our way through a drill which, for those of you that do hook the ball, will help you straighten out your ball flight. So if I've got a player that hooks the ball, the first thing I'm going to have a look at is their grip. Remembering that the hook's going to be the result of the club face being aimed too far to the left when they make contact with the golf ball, and the thing that's going to have the biggest control, or biggest influence, over the club face position impact is going to be grip. So that's where I'm always going to start. So typically people who hook the ball have their hands rotated too far to the right on the club, and that promotes the closed club face at impact, which produces the hook flight. So I'm going to get their grip a little more neutral to start with. Then from there, the other way that we tend to see players hook the ball is that as they come through, the hips don't rotate, club head passes the body too much, again closing the club face and producing that hook shot. So we get the grip a little more neutral, and then we're going to work through a drill here in a second, which is going to produce, the body rotating a little more and allowing the club face to get back to square. So one of the things I would do with players that hook it, as we said, we've made the grip adjustment. I'd get them here in their downswing, getting the club face more neutral. I want the toe of the club slightly ahead of the heel is all at this point. I don't want it too much shut, and I don't want it too much shut, and I don't want it too open. I want it neutral. And then from there, we're going to talk about, well, how do we move the club to impact from there? Keeping in mind that it's a hip rotation, so I want to get the sense of the belt buckle more towards target, because the more I rotate the body, the more difficult it's going to be to close the club face. So we get them set up first of all just here, just turning through and getting used to seeing that club face more square due to the body rotating. I'd then also do some drills with them where we'd have no golf ball and we're just doing some practice swings. So just from here, turn the body, and when they get to here, I'm looking for that club face to be, if anything, slightly open, because they've let the handle lead the club head. What we don't want to see is this move, which is the one we see a lot with players that hook the golf ball. So again, delivery position here, turn the body through, keeping the club face a lot more neutral. When players get a sense of that, then I'd get them out on the tee box and start hitting some shots. So again, we do the short swing, want them back to here, turning through, and the sensation that we're looking for is that they're trying to hit little cuts or straight. So we're going to work on getting the body to rotate more, handle leading, and keeping the club face feels like far more open than what they're used to. So if the player that hooks the ball can now start hitting the ball straighter, or even a little to the right with that short swing, we're heading in the right direction. Then from there we'd step it up to a half swing, then a three-quarter swing, and then eventually the full swing, the whole time taking the feeling that we had with the shorter swings and incorporating that into the full swing. Keeping in mind that progression that I just went through in a few seconds is going to take a few weeks. You keep in mind that you worked really, really hard to perfect that hook, and it's going to take some time for you to change it. So you've got to give yourself the chance to learn the new pattern, and thus the new skill, to be able to hit the ball straight. So if you're hooking the ball, a couple things to check. Check your grip first of all, and your ball position as well, and then from there you want to work on getting that lower body to rotate more, keeping the club face square on the way through, and not letting that club face flip past the hands and closing it through impact. If you can do that, you'll get rid of that hook and you'll start hitting the ball a whole lot straighter.